Hello, I'm Micksmowers the Mower Man, and welcome to my channel. If this is your first time visiting my channel, hit the old subscribe button or whack the old bell. Set your notifications to all, that way you'll be told next time I upload another video. In today's video, we're going to be looking at a little tiny scarifying unit that an old boy messaged me just the other night to say, can I put it back together and fix it? Because he's had a little go at it himself and he has failed to just fully repair the machine. And now I have the scarifying unit and a little tiny bag of bits, which is going to be interesting because now I have to figure out where all the bits go before I'd even taken them off. So that's a bit of a shame, but there you go, that's what I do. So without further ado, let's get down and dirty and let's check out the scarifying unit that needs to be repaired and put back together. Right, so up on the bench we have a Einhell GESA 1335 space P up on the board, up on the old bench. And first off the bat, first things first, he said to me, I asked quite a few questions because he said it just needs a new set of fuel leads, blah, 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 or a new fuel pipe. And I asked him, is it a 4-stroke or 2-stroke? He said, it's a 4-stroke. I said, okay. But then I questioned it because obviously, he said fuel leads. So I wasn't actually sure what I was getting until it turned up just yesterday at my door. I didn't see it. Nana took delivery of it. This little old boy turned up and delivered this off with a nice big bag of bits that I'm trying to undo the knot with as we speak. But just looking at the machine, it looks to be a 2-stroker to me, not a 4-stroker. That's what it looks like off the bat, unless something has changed and someone hasn't told me about it. Let's get this bag of bits off. There you go. Oh, right, bag of bits. Let's see what we've got inside the bag of bits. Okay, so inside the bag of bits, what do we have? Cowlings, foam. It smells like a 2-stroker. What's this stuff here? What's this? We've got a blood glucose test strips here. No, I think they're for him. No idea. Maybe he's diabetic. We've got fuel caps. We've got a grommet, so I would say 2-stroke, wouldn't you? We've got a fuel tank, and we've got. Now we said all the bits is here. I'm just wondering where the screw is for that left side on the machine. Okay, so it looks like we actually got a 2-stroker, not a 4-stroker. So this now leads into a question. He said it was all running beforehand. Or has he just picked it up and gone from there? So we've got up here a little primer bulb there, which is okay. That seems to be okay. It could just be a set of fuel leads needs fitting, but I need to figure out. I don't even know what this machine looks like when it's put together. So first thing I'm going to do. Oh, hang on. We have got a little oil dip sticker here. So it could be a 4-stroker. A 4-mix they call them. Yeah, we've got a 4-mix. We've got oil here. Okay, so it is a 4-mix here. It's not a 2-stroker. So it's a 4-mix machine. Okay, we're missing one of the carburetor nuts by the looks of it. That's not here. So the first thing I'm going to do is I have absolutely no idea what this machine looks like. I dare say that's not right. That shouldn't all be exposed. I don't know if that goes that way round. I've got no idea. I couldn't tell you. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to quickly Google this machine and see if I can't see at least a picture of what it actually looks like when it's been fully assembled. Right, I got it up on the bench, as I say, had a quick little Google at it, and from what I can see, this fuel tank sits up on there somehow. That sits about there. I'd say about there. Yeah, it's 3 bolts. It's missing like a grommet or something, spacer there to fit on there to bolt that to, but I'm not seeing no bits. Where's the bolts that hold all that together? Let me just check my phone and see what the old boy said. Oh, hang on. Glucose. Maybe the bolts is in here. Maybe they're in here. Ah, boom. There you go. They're in that old glucose doodad. Good man. We like that. Good boy. Right. So now we've got a few bits and bobs we can work with. This is a problem when you're working with stuff. You're working a little bit blind. So that bracket there, I know that's got to go on the top here. That's snapped off. So that sits on in there. So I'm going to fit this tank on first. And I'm assuming it's a 3 bolts. And there's a bit of broken fuel lead inside that tank. Let me just retain that out. On a decent set of long nose pliers for that. That set there is a good set. So inside the fuel tank itself is a disused, corroded, gunked up fuel lead. It is there, see? Okay. So that can be discarded. So we're on a bit of a winner here. So yeah, first thing I'm going to do is just going to hook this tank up. There's 3 bolts to go on, and they go 1, 2, 3. There's obviously something that goes down here as well, which would be a belt guard. I'm assuming it's going to be that cookie there. I'm assuming 3 screw holes, 3 bolts on there, is there? Yeah, there is. So I need to figure out which way around that goes, because that's going to impede on that. I suppose it could go like that. I'll have another Google, I think. Because that bolt there is going to impede on that bracket there. So that tank goes on first. Tank goes on first because that sits in there like that. Yeah, okay. Right, let me just get this tank fitted first then. It's only 3 Phillips. Once I've got it all back together, we can then get on with the repair. It's as simple as that. But it's a bit of a fiddle when the fiddle fairies have struck, as we all know. So it would have been easier if a bloke just said, it's broke, can you fix it? It's always easier. But do you know what? I'm not going to whinge and moan, because I always say, have a go. Just have a go at it. I don't look like the same bolt to me. 2 or 3 here. That's a nut. Let's just put that one on first, and that's the same one as that one. So yeah, not have a whinge, because I always say, at least have a go, but put it back together. That way I know where I'm starting from. But I suppose this is what sets us apart from other people, is that we're not only do we have a go, but we can also repair other people's efforts. Yeah. Right, that goes on there like that. What's left in here? I've got a grommet. Now these are the ones that generally fail. It doesn't look brilliant. We may have to put a new grommet in there. We'll try it though. We'll give it a go. Let's fit the grommet in. Oh. I don't really want to damage that, because they are a bit of a pickle. But it does seem to be quite a tight fit. So we'll leave that be for now. So that's a new grommet in there. That's good. We've got a fuel cap. That's obvious. We've got an air filter cover. I'm assuming that goes into there. And we've got an air filter that goes into there. So the next thing I want to do is just figure out where this little tiny belt guard goes. Let me just spin the machine round just a touch. Okay, I've got it down a bit more. Grommet's not quite all the way home yet. And if it don't go all the way home, the tank's never going to suck it up right. That's it. Okay, happy with that. I've got that. I'm assuming that's to go onto there to stop that chafing, I'm assuming. Oh, chafing. Have you ever heard such a lovely word as chafing? Right, that's going to go onto there. I think. Yeah, it goes onto there, I'll say. Right, I'm happy-ish with that. I don't sit all the way in. No, it's right there, there's one there. It seems to want to go a bit more than that, Mick. Yeah, there, like that. Okay. I'm going to try and screw these up. See if they're going. Yeah, they will. I thought for a minute the old boy left his diabetic pills here or whatever. Let me spin that round a touch. I don't want to go in there. Might be just a bit of jiggery pokery. think that one's gone. Yeah, that one's gone. Okay. So that's the belt cover. So now we're already assembling, you know, what looks to be a complete machine. That one don't want to go in there. That one don't want to go in there. Come on, baby. There it goes, I think. Is that gone? Yeah, that's gone. Right, that's in there. Right, lovely. Right, so we're already halfway home now. Now I've got to figure out what this bit does. That's just a fuel hose guard cover, I think. And then I've got another bolt here. I think that might go up in there, possibly. No, that's too big. So I want 2 small screws, which will be them ones with washers on. They must hold that on, yeah, okay. So those 2 screws hold the top up, and that all goes in there like so. And then I missed a 10mm nut earlier, which that goes onto there. Happy with that. That'd be holding that on. But what holds that? Okay, so that little tiny nut I just took off, that holds the air box on, that goes into there. Right, so I think I'm accountable for all the parts apart from that one there. No idea what that does, where it goes, what it do. But we'll find it out a bit later on, hopefully. And we'll go from there. So, right, let me reposition and I'll be back. Okay, let me grab some fuel leads. 2-stroker box, there it is. So, generally, rule of thumb is that you your thinner one is your return and your thicker connector is your inlet. Okay. This must just be standard throttle governed, I think. There's no throttle on it, of course, like a lawnmower or something like that. Yeah, standard throttle. So all we now got to do is try and decipher out of this lot here what pipe would be best to use. I've got to fit a fuel filter on as well because there's no fuel filter. So the first thing I'm going to do, both these holes are both the same on here, on the back of a grommet. So yeah, I'm going to go for that. I'm going to try and fit this one on. That would be a return. Let me get a pair of long nose pliers on that. And I'm working upside down the back to front here just for you guys' viewing pleasure. So that'll go on. Just wondering where I'm going to sneak this little fuel leads over. I don't really want to expose. Well, I could go over top, couldn't I? And just put that little cover on it. Maybe that's the thing. Yeah, maybe we just do that. I'll have a quick little look at the photograph of the machine. I don't think it is though. I had a picture of it. It comes round the back here somewhere. It comes out round the back here, so it sneaks. Oh, I see. I think it sneaks round the back here somewhere. It's a fair bit of fuel pipe, isn't it? It sort of sneaks round the back, as per the picture. If it's the right model, of course. Let me just sneak that round the back of that. We'll go up underneath here. Yeah, that'll go on. Okay. That'll be okay. I mean, I will put just a sleeve on that just to stop it chafing. And then what I now want to do, I now want to guesstimate the length from the grommet to the bottom of the tank. Although this is a return, I want to make 110% it is a return. So I'm going to guesstimate from there to there. That's going to be about there, okay? So I'm just guesstimating it. For what it costs a bit of pipe, it doesn't hurt just to do this. That'll go like so. I'm then going to cut that slightly on the screw width. Okay, so then that way it will then fit into the grommet. Like that. I'll leave that out of the way for now. And I'm going to grab the same bit of pipe, or you know, a newer bit. I'm going to grab my long nose pliers and hopefully I can get that one to fit onto here. Now I may struggle because it is a slightly thicker gauge nozzle, as I say, but we might be alright. If not, get a bit of hot water. Always plays a nice hot cup of coffee on the go. Let's just put a little tiny bit of spray on that, Mick, just to try and help it along a little bit. I think what it was, he got to this part, he couldn't get this cover off. I think that's what hindered the old boy. It's got a purging bulb on there. might be a slightly thicker bit of pipe with a slightly wider. Oh no, I've got it. It's going. Yeah, it's gone. A bit more on there if I can get it. I know you can't see a lot, but I'm just trying to manipulate this fuel hose up on top. It's got to be on there, otherwise it'll be all for out. Oh, my tummy's rumbling. That means I'm hungry. Oh, that's got him. That's gone on. Right, there you go. So there's the inlet pipe now gone on as well. And exactly the same. I'm going to follow the direction of this one. Up underneath we'll go. Up underneath. Round and round. Up the top. That's about right. There you go. So it goes under the carb. So what I'm now going to do, let me just zoom out so you guys can see a bit better. Right, so what I'm now going to do is I'm going to find that little bit of anti-chafing pipe. I'm going to put that onto here. Try and get both of these through if I can. That should be split if it is. If it's any type of sensible stuff. What's that in there then? Got a blockage. Oh, that's tight in there. That got a split in there. If it ain't, it's going to have one. I can't get that to go through. I don't normally have problems putting it in the hole. Leave that where it is, people. Leave that where it is. Let's try and put that one in as well. Yeah, I know. I'm going to put two in the same hole before anyone puts in the comment section. I know. Oh, she's a tight fit. Oh, I'm getting so much trouble on this one. Right. That's that one. That's that one there. Right. So pull them sort of quite tight. But then I want to send this lead only down this corner here. I think that's where it's going to chafe, if anywhere. Yeah, it's going to chafe on that plastic. So that's where I think that goes, like that. Okay, so we're happy with that. Pardon me. Let me get the two little tiny Phillips screws now. Getting a bit above myself here because I'm going to start to pack it away before I even started working on it. Two little tiny screws. Just going to tidy this lot up here, just so I know where it's all sort of going. Now he said it all ran. I've heard that before, but I know, but he did say it did. So, because otherwise it turns into another job, doesn't it? I mean, it's got oil in it, so, and it's a full mix one. Well, let's button that down. Right, okay. That's good. Right, let me bring around the other side and we'll finish this off. Right, we're round to the other side, and what I want to do is have a slurp of my coffee because I haven't long woken up for my night shift. So, quick slurp of this. I've got to put sweetener in too. Oh, it don't taste very nice, but it'll do. Right, so as I say, I've got two pipes. So what I'm going to do initially, this is a one I assumed is the return, okay, because it had the smaller feed going out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave it as it is for now, roughly the same sort of size. I'll come down through that grommet, down through there, so I'm going to cut that one the same length. Now I would like the new fill filter to go on, and I'm going to get a weighted one so that when we put the fuel filter on, it will sit right down the bottom of this tank here. All right, I'm going to use one of these ones. These are quite good because they're foam. And they take a little while to run out if you tip the machine up anyway. So this is the return, put you out the way. And I'm just going to snip an edge onto that, like so. Move the fuel cup out of the way, and then I'm going to then just try and squeeze that down through there. I'm going to get a little tiny amount of lube. We like a bit of lube. Just a little bit of lube. It just helps, doesn't it? A little bit of lube, not a lot, just a little bit. And then we're going to put that in the hole, leave it where it is. I know you lot are probably all making noises now in the chat. Just pack it up, you'll get me in trouble. Now what you want to do is make sure you're not pushing this in all the way, because you'll get a kink. But you want it substantially in so that it reaches the bottom. But if you have it goes all the way in and it kinks out, when this pipe goes hard, you might find actually it collapses. So that's actually right down the bottom already. I'm going to remove the fuel cap. I'm going to go in with a set of forceps, and I'm going to retrieve that fuel line back out. Okay. And I'm going to cut that off level. I'm going to try and fit one of these onto here. Now that's going to be no easy thing, because they are absolute pains in the bums for when you want to try and fit them. So this might take a while. It's got a bit of lube on there, and I do have problems with these. It's because I use such tight fuel line. That's why I might come back to you once I go along. But you can see what I'm doing, right? That's got to go onto there. Oh, that's going, I think. I think he's gone. We can at least start it off. Now the advantage is, if I got this wrong, ran the wrong way, all you've got to do is go back to the carburettor and swap it over. Right? Like so. Right, that goes in there. Right? Plop, and then just get your forceps and just make sure that that fuel lead pipe is all the way down the bottom, and that the filter is actually sat all the way down. My hand's right waving, all the way down the well. I'm going to turn it around a bit. As I say, once you've got fuel in here, those pipes will just sit naturally, but you want it to sit sort of right from minute one. Get over there. That's better. That's lush. Right, happy with that one. And then this is a return. I'm sure this is a return. You can test by now clipping that off tight. There's a purge bowl around here, so you can feel it doing its business. So yeah, see that when I push that, the primer bowl, you can then feel the pressure of that. So what you can do is get a little tiny bit of spray, not a lot, just a touch. Right, a little bit of spray in there. Right, and then prime the bulb. And you can see the oil is trying to come up. See it, look, trying to come up, which tells you that is your return. So that one ain't got to be as long. Don't want to go there, I just want to sit down just inside the tank. I'm going to go about there, right? So we're going to cut that off. And that little bit there, if I just cut off, you think, what a waste, you can use it for 2 strokes, right? I'm always thinking ahead. So I'm going to put a little tiny snippet on that. And that one there, which has already been lubed up, can go into that hole there. Now, there's nothing to say this grommet is actually no good, but we shall see. Like that. Happy with that. That can go now. I've got to put some petrol on. I would like to test it before I'm just simply following the instruction. He said it all ran. I do believe him, but you never know. So I'll put some fuel in now. I'll meet you outside. I'll put the air filter back on. That's just very simply with your air filter in the box, and there's a little tiny nut in there which goes around the back here and just bolts up there. It is self-explanatory, but however, I don't know where that goes. Absolutely no idea. No idea, but I will ask the old boy when he turns up. I haven't found it anywhere else for it. The carburettor is solid, so I'm not quite sure where that bit went, but there you go. We should figure that bit out in a bit, and we'll go from there. So let me get the air filter cover back on. I'll meet you outside in 2 ticks, and we'll try and fire it up, see if fix the machine for this old boy. Right, let's have a little go. Been doing some watching some reviews on this, and they can be a bit of a pickle to start apparently. Anyway, we'll have a look. Right, fuel cap's on. It says 16 pumps apparently, but you'll get the fuel up there, I suppose. Here comes the fuel through the carby into the tank. Now I just want to double check that is right before I go any further. Which one is which? Yeah, that's returning. That's returning right then. So we've got fuel in. it seems to do it. So there's a bit of air in there. It does say give it 16 pumps, but I'll give it about 10. See how we get on. Right, dead man. I think that's a dead man. I think. Let's see what happens. We're going to be here a while. It's definitely getting fuel in. That nearly went in. I think. Oh. Chasing it around the garden. Let's put up my high height adjustment. That must set the height surely. They do say they're pickled to start, and it ain't wrong. Don't want to flood it really. Runs, oh, but I'm not a fan. God, it put us off to death on that thing. Once it's warmed up, I suppose you're all right. Yeah. It could probably do with a service, new spark plug, what have you, but it's not in for that. Just in for a repair. So there you go. That's how you do that. So there you go, little Einhell Scarifier unit now all up and running, doing what it should do. The bloke was right, but how many times have we heard before? Yeah, it was all running last week, mate, and it had been run for 5 years. But it all runs, does what it says on the tin. It's a home use a bit of kit, and good luck to the man is what I'll say. I'm not a fan, but there you go, it is what it is. I'm more into the commercial side of stuff with those Scarifiers, but you know, if you've got just your own little lawn to do, that's all right. But if you use them out commercially, good luck with that. But there you go. This little video just show you how to put a new set of fuel leads on and put all the gubbins all back together, which I didn't know how to do originally, but now I have educated myself. And if I ever get one coming again, then I should have a rough idea of where to start with. Because sometimes we get bits of kit in because different companies change every year, and you don't always get just the standard stuff. Sometimes something a little bit unique comes in which you haven't worked on before, but they're all pretty much the same. It's just common sense, common knowledge. If you like this episode of Micks, Mowers and Mower Man, hit your subscribe button and whack the old bell. Set notifications to all. That way you'll be told next time I upload another video. I look forward to the next episode of Micks, Mowers very, very soon. But until then, don't forget, much more importantly, take care easy.